Last year at Lamb, we came in here with, I was super excited, but I was super high, which is not a good thing to do, especially if you're not going to share it with your wife, but you're going to have a 30-day sex challenge that's just out of this world. And then she really opened herself up to me in such a way, and we connected, and we had visions and dreams, and the whole time I was high, and I never told her the one truth that I needed to tell her, is that I'd been using for over a year. We've been married for 13 years now, and so it was a crushing blow, and she found out one day. The Holy Spirit manifested hives on her body, and she was having dreams, daily dreams. It was unbelievable the way that the Spirit of God moved through her and just let her know. And she literally went in my closet one day and said, "Holy Spirit, if this is for real, if this is true, just tell me where it would be." And she reached in one pocket and pulled it out. And this year we're sitting here, and I was listening to the challenge for sex challenge. I was listening to the intimacies and talk about it, how you open yourself up, and I just looked at her and I said, "I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I lied to you and I stole from you last year. And I don't know that you'll ever be able to open up to me again like that. But last year was, what we had was unbelievable. And the dream and the vision that I wrote down on paper, it was a 2-story home, which is a double portion of blessing. There was this beautiful cottage in the woods, and our family was very happy. And the first day here this year, the Lord said to her in the vision, He said, "Take the junk mail off of that picture, because it's in our front room. It's framed, and it was covered with all the junk mail." And He said to her, "Uncover that dream that I gave you last year. Last year was not a lie. Uncover that dream." And that meant so much to me, because last year meant a lot to me. And this whole last year, I was abandoned as a child. I was abandoned by my dad. He moved to Houston and really didn't look back. My mom was, God, if I heard that, Marilyn, what was that? If I had to listen to memories one more time, I was going to kill all of us. And I was only 5. It was terrible. I mean, she just went inside afterwards and got angry at God. And I really I knew that if she would have just sought the Lord, that everything would have been good. But I was ignored. I had 3 sisters, and I didn't need attention because I wasn't loud enough. And so I was ignored, I was molested, I was incested, I was given drugs by family members at the age in the 2nd grade and on, and just, all kinds of things. And I didn't realize this. I thought all my anger was towards my dad, but I really had anger towards my mother. And so we went through forgiveness too, and our table has been phenomenal. I can't say how great our table has been. Just the people that the Lord put in our lives for this has just been great. And we went through forgiveness too, and I forgive my mother. And right in the middle of it, He said, "Your wife has been everything your mother wasn't to your kids during this time that you abandoned them." So that vow I made when my son was born, "I'll never be like my dad. How could you ever leave something so precious?" And I looked at that baby, and the first thing I thought was, this is such a beautiful gift from God. I'll never do you wrong. And the second thing I said is, "I'll never be like my dad. How could you leave something this precious?" And I broke ties with that, because but the Lord showed me in that moment in forgiveness. He said, "I gave you everything in your wife that your mother couldn't be." And I'm just eternally thankful to you. Yeah. Oh, one last thing. What He gave me in the beginning was that He was going to give us a new song. And I just read a psalm recently, and then I read in the footnotes that the new song meant it was a victory shout. And since we lived in Branson, so close to Arkansas, I could do a Woo Pigs, but I'm gonna abstain.
Well, like Dan said, last April when we were here, he didn't reveal the one thing that he needed to reveal. And I personally, for me, it was so amazing. Like the Holy Spirit did so many things for me during Lamb. But really, looking back, what he did for me was he prepared me for what he already knew. It was no surprise to him that Dan was using. So when I found out, it was always a surprise to me. And so looking back, our God is so gracious, our Father is so loving that he really just prepared me and gave me all these tools and all these things that I would need for the battle ahead. And so the last year, that's what I've done. I've battled for a marriage, I've stood in the gap, and I've interceded. And, I've had a lot of great friends to walk me through that and love on me. And so when he asked me now, recently to come back, I wanted to desperately, but really I was hesitant. And I think it's because there's a lot of things that I've got freedom from in the last year that the Lord revealed to me.
You might let them know we were separated for a while.
Yeah, we were separated for a little while during his using it. So, but through that, the Lord had released me and set me free from control and just from control and from fear. I had a deep-rooted fear, spirit of fear on me, and from codependency. And so I was really protective of those things that I was set free from. And I thought coming back and working through some of these things, I would kind of only let him come so far because I had all this freedom. And I thought him coming close would maybe mean him controlling me or controlling the situation. So this weekend, some of the things that the Lord has shown me and that I've been able to work through is just, and even get more freedom from, it's just a self-protection that I can establish through the process of just him being gone and just over the last year of the addiction, working through the addiction. So, but one of the neatest things that happened this weekend is when he told me that he was going to leave it up to me for the sex challenge. That really freed me because I was really kind of concerned about that because I still had some hurts from last year. And so when I prayed about that and asked the Holy Spirit what we should do, I clearly saw that we should, that he wanted us to do 3 days of physical intimacy, 3 days of emotional intimacy, and then 1 day of just coming back together at the end. Consummating that, sealing that at the end. And I told him that, and I think he got a little offended, to be honest.
We went for 30 days last year, and we made 27 or whatever. We were rocking out last year. It was, I have hope. No, that's not true.
So I told him, I said, you said you trust me, and I trust the Lord. This is what the Lord told me. So, but I said to him, when I spoke those words out, the Lord said to me, it's your offering to me. It's a tithe. It's your trust. You're giving this to me. It's mine, and you're letting me know that you trust me with this. It's 10% of what you gave last year. So it's 3 days and 3 days, yeah. And so that just meant so much to me because I knew right then it was definitely from the Lord, and I do trust him.
And then I remembered 3 days. And I reminded her, and then we thought about, and then I just said to her after I got offended and turned over and said, whatever, you don't love me as much as you used to, whatever. Then I turned over and we were like, okay, that's stupid, let's talk. And so I turned over and I was like, what the Lord was telling me, that's stupid. Right when you said that's stupid. So I was like, 3 days is how long that the Lord was buried. And so I was like, Jesus was buried for 3 days and then he resurrected into this new life, And so I just really saw how the Lord was telling me a new song, Uncover Your Dream. That wasn't a hoax. Uncover the dream that I gave you, and you're going to be renewed. And the most amazing thing about my drug use, here's another one that you can put in your book to share with people. Her father was 40 years old whenever he started using drugs again. And her little brother, her youngest brother, was 6, and he found the drugs under the sink in the bathroom and gave them to Mom. Mom divorced Dad when she was 13. We have a 13-year-old. I was 40 years old. Started using drugs again. And we had a 6-year-old boy. Her cycle was replaying in our life through me. And what would you think? I'm just thankful to be together with her. It's my good mom.